right, everyone. Well, congrats and welcome to day 4. Congrats for making it this far. Today we're covering activating the third eye. And this is the last of the explainer videos. Tomorrow is all about having the opportunity to practice and then experience some energy work. So tomorrow is also the official last day of the challenge. All right, so remember, all this training comes down about a week from today, actually. 1 week from today. So if you are a little behind, it's okay. You still have time to catch up. But once this training is taken down, it's gone for good. So just real quick, why are we starting the third eye right now? Well, put it this way. If you're familiar with chakras are just energy centers, right? And there's 7 of them in the body. And, the heart chakra, right? That's the center of your truth. Okay? It's the seat of your soul. And when I say truth, I mean truth with a capital T. And I'm talking about these higher spiritual truths. Truths like, the soul is eternal, right? That's a spiritual higher truth, right? Or we're one with the universe, right? It's that kind of truth that's just undeniable. It's like those kind of truths. That's what I mean by truth with a capital T. And so when it comes to your specific truth, that's one of the functions of the heart chakra, right? Now, the throat chakra, that's all about hearing truth, capital T, right? And the expression of your truth. And when your throat chakra is clear, the expression of your truth is clear. Make sense? Now, the sixth chakra, also associated with the third eye here, is associated with seeing truth. Truth with a capital T. Now, what's great about reading with your third eye, there's a whole lot of noise out there, right? Case in point, if you go on TV, you see all that crap on TV nowadays, right? And, just because you hear something over and over and over again, does that mean it's true? No, right? It just becomes this hypnosis of the stuff that you hear on the news, the world is going to end and blah, 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 right? And literally that hypnosis is putting like a wool over your eyes. Well, guess what? Your third eye, especially when your third eye is clear, helps you to see beyond the veil, right? You've heard that saying before, right? Beyond the veil. And that veil is what keeps you from seeing your higher truths, right? So why open and activate your third eye? Well, that's why, right? You get access to these higher spiritual truths that, frankly, not very many people have access to, right? Because they're hidden. Right? They're under that hypnosis, and you don't have to be. Now, before I get into the details, let's review a little bit, right? On day 1, you learned honoring the body first. That when your body encounters things that are unfamiliar, your body can freak out. And it's merely a function of your body's survival mechanisms, right? It's literally biological. And if something's scary or unfamiliar, your body's survival mechanisms, they'll turn on. And when you're in survival, survival is more of a base and lower vibration. And once you get into that vibration, these lower vibrations, guess what? You lose touch with your abilities to access these higher spiritual truths, right? Truths with a capital T, and other higher spiritual information, which literally vibrate much more quickly and at higher frequency than this lower energy of survival. Does that make sense? And so you learned that grounding the body is super important, right? And I'll be leading you through a special way to ground tomorrow so that you can release these foreign energies and thoughts from your space. All right, so definitely stay tuned for that. Now, on day 2, you learned that there are 2 minds that you could tap into. One mind is the intuitive mind or your psychic mind, which Albert Einstein referred to as the gift, right? The intuitive mind is the gift. The other mind, the rational mind, should be the servant, right? And Einstein is quoted as saying that society nowadays has turned to honoring the servant and not the gift. So basically all that means is when you start thinking, guess what? You're using the wrong mind to access these higher spiritual truths with a capital T, right? Literally, your thinking mind can't access that high of a vibration, and that's why you tap into that intuitive mind. And you know what makes things worse, right, is when your thinking mind starts taking over, right? Thinking, oh my gosh, that energy's scary, or oh, that doesn't make sense to me, that's not good, right? Then all of a sudden you get into judgment, and all of which shuts down your abilities even more, because guess what? Judgment is also a lower vibration. It's a lower vibrational frequency compared to these higher spiritual truths. Okay? And when you do use your intuitive mind, then you start opening the door to this wide world of spiritual information. Now, this brings us to yesterday's video, day 3, psychic boundaries and psychic protection. Yes, when you open up this doorway, yes, you open up to all these spiritual truths. However, like many of you have been experiencing, you also experience all these other kinds of energies. Now, some are amazing, right? Like contacting your angels or spirit guides, or getting these amazing ahas and clarities about your spiritual path, or even experience, amazing healings from tapping into your gifts. However, from reading, through many of your comments, many of you have experienced things that were pretty scary, right? Pretty crazy, or even unfamiliar, or unexplainable, right? What's the word? Inexplicable or unexplainable, right? Well, the thing is about this doorway is you can control, okay? I will tell you, you can control what energies you decide to come in and what goes out. At the moment, though, for many of you, things you're seeing and experiencing are pretty random, right? Whatever comes in the door, if it happens to be open, that's the reason why you get these signals like 333 or 777 out of nowhere. Or downloads from spirit, or some kind of higher knowing about things in the future that mysteriously come true. Which is why psychic protection and psychic boundaries is really important. And all that is, not only protecting your psychic boundaries, but knowing what to protect in the first place. And once you have your boundaries in place, then tapping into your third eye is a breeze. So those are what we covered in the last videos. So what I want to discuss today is all about the third eye, right? Because you're ready for this stage. Now, the question is, what if you can take those random psychic experiences and recreate those moments so that rather than your experiences being so random, you can tap in on demand and at will. All right, so that's where this whole notion of tapping into your third eye comes in. Now, what I want to share with you are the 3 keys to tapping into your third eye. All right, you ready? All right, so here's the first of the 3 keys. Key number 1, guess what? We've already covered it. You must first ground your body. Why? Because when you experience these weird, unfamiliar, inexplicable energies, you want the body to feel safe and grounded, right? And just like walking into a scary movie, when you tell your body, hey, you might encounter things that don't make sense, right? Don't freak out, right? It's just energy. And literally, this is like self-talk, right? Self-talk, very similar to like, hey, I'm about to walk into a scary movie. It's not real, right? And so you're literally telling your body, hey, it's just energy, right? Now, many of you are already tapping into your gifts, but you're not grounded, right? And yes, many of you are getting signs, premonitions, messages. But the minute your body goes into freak out mode, right, then your access to your third eye literally shuts off. Period. It just does, okay? Because it just knocks you out of your psychic space. And what's funny is the next minute that you're not thinking, right, randomly the messages come up again. It's like, go figure. So starting with grounding helps your body to calm down on purpose, right? Rather than waiting for messages to randomly appear when you're not thinking about it, right? Tapping into the wrong mind, and then your thinking mind shuts it all off again. Okay. So again, you want to tap into your intuitive mind and not your rational mind. So that's key number 1. You must ground. And you see how it's all connected. If you're not grounding, it literally knocks you out of your psychic space, into your thinking space, freak out mode, and it just becomes this vicious cycle. So ground. That's key number 1. Now, key number two. Key number two is you must be clear. All right, so here's an analogy that I used in a previous video. So let's go ahead and review this, right? And it's that analogy I used about a window. And I invite you to go ahead and take a moment to close your eyes and imagine this with me. And as needed, you could pause the video, find a nice quiet space. And if you're not in a quiet space, it's okay too. You can still follow along. Now, just take a nice cleansing breath for a moment. And with your eyes closed, start imagining what a dirty window looks like in your mind's eye. And it's either full of dust or dirt, or however this dirty window appears to you. And you might see this image in your mind's eye really clearly, or it might just be like seeing a silhouette or the outline of a window. Kind of like how you'd see something out of the corner of your eye. And however it shows up, just have it show up however it was meant to show up in your imagination. And it might be clear, it might not be, or you just might get a flash of an image. That's okay. And when you try to peek through this dirty window, you begin to notice, it's hard to see through this thing, right? It's hard to see through this dirty window. And you wonder, is that a tree out there? Or how many leaves? Are there birds flying around? And if so, what color are their feathers? And in that moment, your eyes are straining, trying to look through this dirty window. And logically, you say to yourself, I should just clean that window. All right, then I can see right through. No need to strain, no extra effort. And magically, a spray bottle of your favorite window cleaner appears in your psychic hand. And it might be one of those clear or blue liquid type cleaners. And as you spray that window cleaner on the window, on that dirty window, the liquid starts dripping down that dirty window pane. And all of a sudden, you can start seeing small streaks where you can start seeing what's outside. And a napkin or paper towel magically appears, and you start wiping away more of this cleaning solution, along with all the dirt. And now things are even more clear. And yes, there's this big tree outside with a bunch of leaves and a bluebird flying about. Or whatever and however it is you see out your window. The point is, the window's now clear. You don't have to strain so hard to see what's on the other side. All right, and then you breathe and you can open your eyes now. And, welcome back, right? So I just wanted to take you through that mini visualization and meditation there. So here's the thing. Whether you saw anything clearly or not, right, just consider that this analogy of a dirty window is like having all these foreign energies covering up your natural psychic gifts. Right? And your gifts are already there. And you know this because you're already getting these signs, premonitions, downloads, messages, or you think of someone 5 minutes later, they text you. Your gifts are literally right there. And if you are having trouble accessing them, just consider that they're covered up with all these foreign energies, right? Foreign energies like fear energies, other people's energies, other lower vibrations like the energy of doubt, worry, survival, guilt, sadness, or even judgment, right? Your gifts are it's like having a bunch of dirt or sand piled up on top of your gifts. So what if you can clear all that energy away, right? Then just like looking through a clear window, you don't have to strain so hard. As a matter of fact, you don't have to strain at all. And then tapping into your gifts could actually be easy. Does that make sense? So this is what I mean by the key, by key number 2. And key number 2 is you must be clear. And I'll guide you through that. I'll guide you through that in tomorrow's practice as well. So key number 1, you must ground. Key number 2, you must be clear. Now, here's key number 3, and this one might surprise you about tapping into your third eye. And guess what? One more analogy, right, to help illustrate this for you. So, I'm sure you've had those moments. You go to the mall, right, and the mall is super busy. The parking lot is full, and if you're in the big city, they have those garages with the different colors of each floor. You know what I mean? Like if you're on the 4th floor, it's the red floor. If you're on the 5th floor, it's the green floor, or the blue floor, whatever colors. And so there you are, right? You're trying to find parking, and every spot in the parking lot is taken, right? Or in the parking garage is super full. And you finally find a spot, and you start walking away from your car, and then you look back, and you say to yourself, okay, I'm parked underneath that light over there, near that big tree. Or, I'm parked on the 4th floor, right? The light mint green floor of the garage. Then you go shopping, and now you're holding all these shopping bags in your arms, right? But oops, you were so busy shopping, you forgot where you parked. Now, next thing you know, all these images flash in your mind's eye. The color of your car, right? The last image you remember of how your car was parked. Maybe all the other cars are parked around you. Then you have an image of that light that your car was parked next to. And then the tree flashes in your mind's eye near that light. Or if you parked in that garage, that mint green sign with number 4 on it to say that you're on the green floor, right? The 4th floor of that garage. And then you keep walking around and you're like, oh, there's that mint green sign or that light or that tree, and oh, there's your car, right? And so all of those images that flashed in your mind's eye, right? Now you can actually see, oh, there's my car. I'm parked right there. Cool. So what's the point of all this? Why am I even going over all this? Well, just reflect for a moment, right? When all those images flashed in your mind's eye, right? Where you parked, right? All those literally just flashed in your mind's eye, right? And yet, those momentary images, right? Where did you see them? How did you see them in your mind's eye? Now, what does all this have to do with key number 3? Well, when you focus where in your mind's eye, where you imagine where your car is parked, or the color of the tree, or that picture of the light, or even the sign, right? Or even earlier, right? When I had you close your eyes and you're imagining what a dirty window looks like getting cleaned. Or if I were to say, hey, go ahead and imagine a pink elephant, and then you just get this really quick flash of a pink elephant in your mind's eye. Well, the key number 3 is this, and it's a secret, really, that no one really talks about, so pay attention here. That place where you imagine things is exactly the same space where you tap into your third eye. Okay? It's the same space. So let that sink in for a moment, right? It's the exact same space. Now, having taught this for many years, right? Many of you will say things like, but I can't see anything. I don't see anything. Or I'm blocked. Or I don't see any colors. Or it's not working. And yet, at this stage, what you realize is this. You need to go to just manage your expectations, okay? For one, when your eyes are closed, the images you see in your mind's eye are completely different than how you would see with your eyes open, right? So that's number 1. And, in tomorrow's meditation, tomorrow's exercise, I'm going to have you close your eyes, right? And see how you see things with your mind's eye, with your eyes closed. So that's number 1. Now, number 2, when you were seeing flashes of your car, or the tree, or that light, right? Often, when I'm doing readings, that's all I see, okay? Just so you know. So it's not always like the most vivid, clear picture, right? Literally, sometimes all I just see are just flashes of a silhouette of something. And on top of that, it's almost like how you would see things out of the corner of your eye. You're not really staring at it, but you see it out of the corner of your eye. Now, it's very different. Right? It's like learning a new language, or, like when you first learn how to ride a bike, right? And what you need to know here is that it takes practice, okay? It's not an overnight thing. It's What's funny is it's predictable, right? Then in the beginning, many of you will say, I don't see anything. Okay, so it happens all the time. And so, be gentle on yourself, right? It's like you wouldn't yell at a kid. It's like, how come you don't know how to ride a bike? I taught you 5 minutes ago. Like, no. Right, which is why tomorrow when I introduce, right, and key word here is introducing, right, day 5, practice day, it is a guided meditation to give you a taste of what it's like to ground and open your third eye. Now, will you be a super psychic after just practicing that one time? Of course not, right? However, after these last 4 days, and then tomorrow, right, you'll have way more information to help you, and that sets you up for more success compared to if you didn't know this information at first. Make sense? And this information I'm giving you, this is the information that I wish I had before I started, trying to hone my gifts, right? Because I was all over the place, right? And so compared to a lot of the training out there, who's really covering this stuff in this way, in this order, right? So that's what you get for tomorrow. You get to practice. And then on Saturday, you actually get to watch me in action, okay? That's what Saturday, and it's Saturday noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, by the way. And, when you're done watching this video, go ahead and do me a favor and go ahead and RSVP, okay? There's an invitation on the units page, and just so I can see how many people I can expect to show up. But anyway, back to Saturday. I will be doing a demo of me tapping into my own third eye. And, up to 5 people will have a chance to get a reading live while I demonstrate. So be sure to show up for that. And Saturday will also be a great way for you to catch up if you're a little bit behind. Or I know some people want to review some of the materials. Now remember, this training comes down about a week from today. So once it's gone for good, right? Come Sunday is where I finally introduce to you regarding the Unlock and Elevate Your Psychic Gifts program. And here you'll find out more about this amazing program, what's in store for you when you do open up your third eye, and how you can qualify for this program. And hint, hint, if you want to learn how to read stuff like past lives, chakras, how to contact your spirit guides, how to give healings to others, right? And do all of this in a step-by-step, grounded fashion. That's what I'm covering on Sunday. All right, so comment below if this is something you want to learn more about, and I'll definitely cover this more on Sunday. Now, to sum up this video, in order to activate your third eye, key number one is you must ground, right? Helps the body to feel safe. Key number 2 is you must be clear, kind of like clearing a dirty window. And then key number 3, realize that in a way, if you can imagine where you last parked your car, then you can tap into your third eye, right? It's the same space. So for many of you, go ahead and stop doubting yourself. Stop second guessing. Stop with the negative self-talk. All right, stop thinking like it's not possible for you, right? You're already doing all this. You're already tapping in. Maybe there's a lot of dirt and maybe there's a lot of grime or whatever other energies on top, but that's something you can clear. All right, so you're already doing this. You can do this. Anyway, go ahead and comment below third eye to let me know that you watched the video. And I keep an eye out on the action takers, as well as look out for any questions or other comments you might have. And lastly, stay tuned for tomorrow's practice day video where I actually lead you through experiencing grounding and starting to tap into your third eye. So see you in tomorrow's video, and see you Saturday for that bonus reading demonstration. Bye for now, and I look forward to seeing more of you in the group. All right, bye now.